As you can see here, I overestimated my ability to consume 12 cups of rice. It's been sitting in the fridge overnight, so today let's learn 8 hacks to put our leftover rice to good use. When I see a bowl of leftover rice, my mind rushes towards egg fried rice. Just like when I see an open bottle of rum on the counter, I think, is my dad back? We've made a pretty decent egg fried rice a while ago, so don't judge me here. This is just a technique I want to try out because apparently it prevents the rice from clumping together. So after we separate the whites from the yolks, we'll massage it into the rice, making sure every grain of it gets covered. I've seen videos of people using lard instead of egg yolks here. We'll set it aside and work on some vegetables. In keeping with the theme of leftover rice, we're gonna use the leftover vegetables from the last video, where according to you guys I declared war against Germany. You know what, let's add some more protein to it. We also got that chicken sausage from last week, which I'm gonna cut into cubes. Now I have egg, rice, bell pepper, carrots, and chicken sausage. This is like what the older ladies on the Upper East Side cook when they want healthy Asian food for dinner. So we'll first go with all the vegetables, the white part of the spring onion, and the sausage into the pan, toss it around. Now we'll add the egg yolk covered rice. So the whole point of this hack is that at this step, it's gonna make it very easy for the rice to declump. It does seem a lot less resistant than usual. The 2 times we made egg fried rice on this channel were all clumpy. So we're gonna start doing this from now on. Maybe with bacon grease sometimes. And since you asked nicely, we'll just toss it around, add some soy sauce, add back in the green part of the scallion. Now it's pretty much done. And since this hack is only to test how easy it was to declump, there's really no reason for me to taste it. I mean, it doesn't look that good, but I'll taste it and rate it 1 through 10 just for show. The rice is indeed in separate individual grains. A lot of MSG, so it tastes good, but my desire for more meat is pretty apparent. We got a few different types of mushrooms for this dish, so hope you're ready for a trip. I got this recipe from Tiffy Cooks.
I always have leftover rice in the fridge, and this creamy baked mushroom rice is one of my go-to recipes.
That looks amazing. I was really excited at this point, but then it ended like this.
It also only takes 30 minutes to make. This recipe is part of the first section of my cookbook.
I don't feel like buying a cookbook right now, so I'm gonna approach this recipe the same way my sister thinks of her boyfriend when he goes out, jumping to a lot of conclusions. So after cutting all the mushrooms into thin slices, we'll stir fry them a little bit. I forgot where I heard it from, but the 2 things mushrooms love the most are oil and heat. So when the oil is moving around the pan like water, that means it's hot enough. We'll drop in all the slices and stir fry it till most of the moisture is gone out. Once they shrink significantly and changes in color, we'll take it out. Put in butter, flour, and constantly stir till it becomes a blonde roux. You really should be adding the onions before the flour, but the theme of this episode is do what I say, not as I do. Now you should be adding milk. I don't have that, so I'm doing a heavy cream and water. Seasoning with salt, white pepper, and fresh grated garlic. And let it simmer on low heat for about 10 minutes. While that's happening, we'll take out about 2 cups of rice and put it in the baking dish. Add a whole egg into it and massage it in. Kind of similar to what we did earlier. Now pour in the roux onion mixture. It's kind of like southern mac and cheese but with rice. We'll mix it in a little bit so it's fully incorporated. Now it's full improvisation time. We got a couple toppings here. We'll put a layer of sauteed mushrooms. Now a few pieces of string cheese just for the pull. And for additional pull and to create that crust, we'll put 2 slices of monster cheese on it. Also because I need to get rid of them. Put it in a 375-degree oven for 10 minutes and then broil the top till it looks like this. Don't you feel a little warmer just by listening to the sound? So this is like a mushroom risotto and baked mac and cheese combined into one. The concept itself sounds very foolproof, and I have pretty high expectations for this one. Look at this cheese pull. Okay, maybe it doesn't look as good as I expected it to be, but that's just because I haven't seen anything like this before. So without further ado, let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. You know, I take back what I said about mushroom risotto. It doesn't have that creamy texture. It tastes more like a mushroom fried rice mixed with mac and cheese. So it's very balanced. It's not too heavy or anything. The rice provides a very good foundation for the flavors of the mushroom and the cheese on top. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe I will buy Tiffy's cookbook. Should I buy everybody's cookbook and test recipes from them for a video? Let me know in the comments. For the next recipe, I'm coming after our Italian audience again. We're making arancini. It's a Sicilian street food. One of my best friends from Sicily, and I went to visit her one summer. Besides getting intimidated by the size of their rice balls, I also noticed that all of their pastries have nipples on them. I'm not making things up. Can somebody explain it in the comments? Also, I forbid any of you from mentioning how good I am at handling balls. Let's get a breading station ready. We have flour, eggs, and panko. I saw a TikTok saying that dropping an egg will perfectly crack it. Oh wow. It is pretty perfect. The procedure is flour, egg, and panko. And I know you guys gonna tell me to do the wet hand, dry hand thing. But let me tell you, whatever come across as my hand, it's gonna be wet. I'm only gonna do 3 balls because I'm still uncomfortable with deep frying. So let me put on my construction mask and heat up a pot of oil till 375. Once we reach the temperature, we're gonna drop them in. These should be fairly safe since there's not a single drop of liquid in there and it's all covered by dried up rice. All we're doing here is just get it hot enough so the cheese inside melts. Once it's golden brown, we'll take it out, and let's cook the other 2 all at once. Hopefully it doesn't spill. It's pretty perfect. The rim is getting oiled up. Look at these 3. They kind of look like fried ice cream, which is a recipe that I'll never attempt. In preparation of this classic, authentic Italian dish, I've prepared some premium marinara sauce, which is the butter chicken gravy we have left from the last video. My annoying roommate took all the chicken and left me with this, so I'm gonna just dip it like that. I forgot to season the rice and the coating, so it's a little bit bland compared to the traditional arancini with butter and cheese mixed in. But it's kind of perfect with the butter chicken sauce. With a little texture on the outside and some mozzarella in the middle, I think we accidentally created something awesome. Our last savory recipe is not so much a leftover rice hack, but it's just as easy as a quick dinner. The creator of this recipe calls it the lazy man rice, so clearly it was invented for me. It even helps us solve the problem that I don't like washing my rice, because the first step is to soak our water in rice for 30 minutes. Now I gotta cube up a bunch of vegetables. Any aromatic or root vegetables you got in your fridge, you can throw it in. I'm using carrots, parsnip, potato, and some bell pepper. You don't want to cut them too small because we're throwing them into the rice cooker and it might disintegrate. I actually went out to the store to get this sausage. As usual, it's best to take it out of the plastic wrapping when it comes to cutting it. And again, we'll cut it into very similar sizes as the vegetable cubes we cut earlier. If you don't have sausage, I think you can just throw in any type of leftover protein you got in the house. Now I'll put the vegetables and the meat on a plate and stir fry it a little. So while you guys weren't looking, I added a few items to the plate. As you can see here, we got some mushrooms and garlic slices. The first thing we're gonna fry up is the protein. And right before it triggers the smoke detector, we're gonna put in the rest. Now we'll add a splash of mirin, oyster sauce, soy sauce, and just enough water to cover the surface. And as soon as it comes to a simmer, we'll immediately pour it into the rice cooker. At this point, the rice should be done soaking and we'll gently place it on top of the surface. You could give everything a thorough mix, but you don't have to. I'm just gonna press it a little bit on top. Now comes the creative part. We're gonna crack 4 eggs directly on top of everything. I feel like the eggs are staring at me, or maybe I'm just going cuckoo. I can't explain it, but I actually kind of look radioactive. Alright, now let's break the eggs apart and mix everything together into a more homogeneous mixture. This is so hard to grab. It's like my hand can't touch the side of the bowl, but the spoon is not deep enough for me to grab at a shallow angle. Anyways, this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a poorly made fried rice, but let's give it a taste to see if this is actually a good hack. It's actually pretty decent. It has the implication of a fried rice without losing the freshness of steamed rice. But I do think the stir frying of vegetables was a little unnecessary. It's sort of a meaningless step, just like when I took off my pants to fart. Next time I make it, I'll elevate it. I'll upgrade it from the lazy man's rice to FutureCanoe's rice. I'll just throw all the raw ingredients into the rice cooker and let it do its thing. I have a feeling it's gonna taste 90% similar to what we just ate. Taste wise, 8 out of 10. Laziness wise, 6 out of 10. Last but not least, we're ending on a sweet note. I'm taking suggestions from a lot of you in India. Y'all keep hyping up this rice pudding thing. I was gonna save it for a struggle meal video, but we can make it here too. So to 2 cups of rice, we'll add in a can of coconut milk. Okay, to my defense, it was deceivingly thick on the surface. While bringing the pot to a simmer, we'll poke the rice into the milk. I guess it's sort of like making a porridge, but sweet. Some cinnamon and nutmeg. It's smelling incredible. We'll add half a cup of sugar and continue stirring and simmering until it gets thick. I can still kind of see the individual grains of rice, so I guess it's not cooked enough. I'm gonna add some milk, aka heavy cream and water, and continue stirring. Now here comes my genius. Remember the honeycomb butter we made a few videos ago? I'm gonna take a scoop of that and whisk it in. The flavors of the honey, caramel, and butter is gonna be fully incorporated into the rice. Alright, it looks like eating in reverse, but it smells really good. This is my first time having rice in the sweet form, so let's give it a taste and rate 1 through 10. It tastes like a warm bowl of soft serve ice cream, but not like melted, you know what I'm saying? But more like ice cream in a warm, thick goo form. Like I said, my brain is not used to the concept of rice and sugar, but when I don't think about that, whatever I'm eating right now is really pleasant. I'm gonna give this a 6.5 out of 10, but as a struggle meal, 9 out of 10. So remember I mentioned a while ago how I want to visit the South? Well, I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee, because you're the only 10 I see.
What the hell is even that?
Anyways, I'm here for the hot chicken, so if you've been here or a local, let me know where to go. DM your recs to me on Instagram if you want. Alright, thank you.